Dan, I want to thank you for inviting me and Clay to give this program today, and I want to thank everybody for letting me serve as your county councilman. I've served for about 2 years now. I think we got a lot accomplished. It's been very challenging. It's real interesting. And one thing I learned in 2 years, we got the best county administrator you'll find in the state of South Carolina. Clay pretty well single-handedly got Wyman-Gordon to come. I went over a month before Wyman-Gordon ever decided to come to Dillon County. Clay would stay on the telephone every day, 5 to 6 hours, talking to somebody from that company. And I just don't see how we can find a better administrator. Clay, I appreciate what you're doing. Since January 2010, Clay Young has served as the county administrator for Dillon County. Clay Young has over 23 years of experience in city and county government. Prior to coming to Dillon, Mr. Young was the county administrator for the counties of Kershaw, Dillon, and Hampton. He also served as the city manager for the cities of Chester and Hanahan. As the finance director for the county of Lancaster, he received the first comprehensive annual finance report for the county. Mr. Young worked as the economic development coordinator for the Low Country Council of Governments from 1987 to 1989. He worked for the South Carolina Legislature from 1980 to 1987. Mr. Young received his BA from the University of South Carolina and a master's degree from Western University. He and his wife Susie have 2 sons. Josh, 24, a 2014 graduate of the Citadel, and Bridges, 15. I'd like to now give you Clay.
I appreciate it. One of the things I learned when Buzzy was doing this nice introduction is that I'm learning how old I am, Corky. But finally, you know, I'm one of the old guys now, as what I used to say years ago. And Paul, you got a better speaker probably than than me. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. You know, it's surprising when I came when Glenn and Buzzy asked me to come and speak. I got to thinking the other day when I was talking to my wife Susie. And she always tells me the truth. It seems like she always cuts to the chase on me. But I think I've been here and spoke more times because I spoke for John a couple times and in different people in the past. I think I've spoken here more times than I have anywhere in Dillon County. So I don't know if that's good or bad, Paul, but anyway. But maybe a good thing on that too. I did want to thank everybody for saying a little prayer for me. I am having some eye surgery done, and I know some people has called me about that, and I do appreciate that. I learned one thing the other week, a couple weeks ago. I probably need to get a second opinion because my wife said, you know, Clay, you make it funny if they cut too far down here. I said, and she said, are you concerned about it the other night? She was sitting there talking to me, and I said, no, I'm not concerned about it. Because, and she said, and I said, because the only thing I'm really concerned about is what eye patch I'm going to put over my eye like a pirate. So next time you see me, I may have an eye patch, you know, like a pirate. But I am happy to be here, and Dillon County has been busy over the last couple of years, as Buzzy mentioned before. I learned a long time ago as a county administrator when I worked for Chaphurst and different other places I've worked. It says if you're not growing, then therefore you need to figure out what the problems are and address the problems. And I think we've done that over the last 10 years. I think we've accomplished a lot of things. If somebody would have came to me in 2001, when I came here in 2001 and said, do you think you would be where you're at today in 2015, I probably would have said, I hope so. But I wouldn't know if in my heart, John, if it really we could have got there or not. But I'm happy to say we've been able to accomplish a lot of things, and we are basically, I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I wish I could get out more and talk to more people. I miss not being able to get out and get the message out as much as I like to. We've done a lot of good things. One of the first things we did this year in the last couple of years was build the Dillon County Justice Center. We are about through with that project. That's been about a 2 or 3 year project we've been working on. We're very close to getting that completed. We also did some major improvements at the airport. Has anybody been to the airport lately? If you're off Highway 9, you'll be very surprised. You've got a nice resurface on the runway. It's been in here. New lighting's been put in. We're in the process of getting a new terminal building all paid through the state with grant match we did, and through the FAA, which is coming in with additional grant this year. So I do recommend y'all go there. We have been very successful, as Buzzy mentioned before, on economic development. We landed Wyman-Gordon last year. Buzzy was correct. We actually started working on the project about a year and a half before it actually came out in Dillon County. We were one of 3 counties in South Carolina, along with 2 other counties in other parts of the state that we were up against, and we were able to overcome the issues that they needed. I know Horry County, I'm not saying anything out of school now, Betsy. I know Horry County led the charge on trying to get Wyman-Gordon. They did what they could. There was 2 upstate counties, and it was actually 2 counties in North Carolina that pushed hard to try to get them here. Wyman-Gordon is, as I mentioned to Governor Haley when she was down here when we had groundbreaking, it's really a game changer for Dillon County. I mean, it's something that we had been looking for years and years, fishing for, as they say, or trying to see what we could do. $115 million, 400 plus jobs. All the jobs are, high-tech jobs, more technical type jobs coming in here. It was surprising, and I think I know I mentioned probably Buzzy, is 2 months after we got Wyman-Gordon, I got 2 phone calls, one from Greenville and one from Charlotte. And Charlotte was asking me, as Wyman-Gordon, how close are you on getting Wyman-Gordon? I said, well, we've already got it. And so we said, well, we're not in the running anymore. I said, well, apparently not. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's out. And then Greenville's the same way. Not to downplay it at all either, too, is Harbor Freight did a major expansion, as most of y'all ride by Highway 34. They did a 1 million square foot expansion on the 1 million square foot that they already had. So we got a 2 million square foot building out there, which is probably one of the largest in the state. And so it is something to see. They've had to go in there and re-automize or whatever they do inside the company to basically move the products back and forth. It's such a large scale building out there. They do give tours. If anybody's interested, they will take a group of Rotary Club out there. So if you're interested, let me know, or let Robbie Robertson know at Harbor Freight. They'll be glad to take you down. When I got here in 2001, one of the things we looked at was economic development. And we knew that to solve our problems and to solve any problems in a community is to be able to grow your way out of it. That's what you want to do. You want to see if you can, growth will basically lead to fixing a lot of your problems if you can move in that way. With these 2 expansions here and the development we've done out there along with the state of South Carolina, I do have to take my hat off. As I mentioned to Governor Haley a couple of times when she came with Harbor Freight, and then less than a year later she came with Wyman-Gordon. She was walking out with me as we were walking outside to do the groundbreaking. She said, well, what are y'all doing in Dillon that other counties in South Carolina need to be doing? And one of the first things I said, well, Governor, I'd like to say one thing is that we started this process a number of years ago. And I said, you're just seeing the fruits of it now. I said, we started this process along with Harbor Freight, with the process we did across the street with the Northeast Commerce Park and development over there, the water and sewer, with the development of Love's Travel Center. We got a grant, John, through the Department of Commerce to do Love's Travel Center, which nobody's supposed to know about really technically. It's over with now, but we prefaced on the economic development thing. We knew if we could get water and sewer, where we run water and sewer, if it's in the right location, their development will come. It was that way in Kershaw County when I was there. It was that way in Lancaster County. It's that way in Charleston County. No matter wherever county you go, that's one of the driving forces today. Economic development is a totally different animal. When I first got to be a county administrator 20-something years ago, I very seldom spent any time on economic development. Hardly any. Just if a company came, we were generally saying, they need a water line or sewer line, and we were trying to figure out how to fund that. And that was about it. The company generally came in, built their plant, did whatever they needed to do, and didn't look for the county or city really to participate very little in any aspect of it. Nowadays, it's a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. You start from the beginning, and every single aspect of that project will basically have to go through a process to get through. You've got to get state approval. You've got to get federal approval. You've got to get all the DHEC permits. You've got to get the company to agree. You've got to get the incentives. And everybody says, well, how do you come up with the incentives? Well, the incentives is a difficult task at hand because you're trying to compete with other counties and you don't know what they're offering. and they're not telling you what you're offering and vice versa. So they're you know, it's a process that takes a lot of time and effort to go through what you need to do. But we are happy that Wyman-Gordon has committed here. I don't know if any of y'all have been out there lately. It's you know, seen the development going on out there now. They have already issued. They already do one expansion already, and they hadn't even located here. They've done one expansion that they've already looking at. They're going to expand the spec building.